Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos' late husband's shocking past revealed. Golden Bachelorette fans are in shock over the details revealed about Joan Vassos' late husband's criminal past. The Maryland native, who passed away in 2021, was awaiting sentencing after pleading guilty to several charges. Keep reading for all the details. Joan Vassos' husband wasn't an angel. Golden Bachelorette viewers have cried with Joan Vassos when she talks about her late husband, John. They were married for over 30 years until he passed away from pancreatic cancer in 2021. While Joan is clearly still mourning her husband, she joined the Golden Bachelor hoping to find love again. She didn't find it with Jerry Turner, but she might with one of the 4 men remaining on her season of the Golden Bachelorette. Joan has only spoken lovingly about her husband on the show, but his shocking criminal past has come to light. A Bachelor Nation fan took to Reddit to ask if Joan's husband is the same Joan Vassos mentioned in a 2020 press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office. It was confirmed that, yes, that is Joan's late husband. The press release revealed that he pled guilty in June 2017 to 1 count of conspiracy to commit mail fraud, 1 count of tax fraud, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud. What was he accused of? Directly from the press release, Joan Vassos was awaiting sentencing when he passed away from cancer. Golden Bachelorette fans react to his shocking past. Bachelor Nation fans on Reddit had mixed reactions to the truth about Joan's late husband's past. Some didn't think it should be brought up because he passed away, but others speculated whether Joan knew. Check out some of the comments. Joan's PR team, her kids, and the PR team for the Backed have worked overtime to shut this story down. I posted about this and within minutes got a barrage of "I hope you die" type responses. I've been crying over a white-collar criminal. I am shocked to learn the man Joan can't stop talking about took away an opportunity from a minority-run business. I feel icky. I know this shouldn't surprise me because they've made plenty of disastrous casting choices before, but I'm very surprised that they would go with a lead who could easily have this story tied to them. Wow, this absolutely supports my theory that Joan is in this for the paycheck. She left the first season to try and make a run at being Golden Bachelorette. She's picking the highest income men, and if it doesn't work, will be an influencer. Joan Vassos, the radiant star of the Golden Bachelorette, has captivated audiences with her grace, poise, and undeniable charm. As she embarked on her quest for love later in life, viewers were drawn not only to her enchanting smile, but also to the compelling story of the love she had once lost. Joan had spoken candidly about her late husband, a man she had shared decades of her life with. But beneath the tender memories and loving words, there was a shocking chapter in her late husband's past that few had ever known. Until now, for weeks, fans of the Golden Bachelorette had followed Joan's journey, enchanted by her elegance, her infectious laughter, and her willingness to open her heart once again after the tragedy of widowhood. In one emotional episode, Joan had shared her story of grief and healing, speaking of her husband as her greatest love, a man of strength, loyalty, and honor. But as the final episodes of the season drew near, whispers began circulating about her late husband's hidden past, whispers that would soon send shockwaves through the world of reality TV. It all began innocently enough. A curious fan, intrigued by Joan's past, started digging into her husband's background. At first, there was little more than ordinary details. His name was Mark Vassos, a successful businessman with a sterling reputation in the community. Joan had mentioned that they met in their 20s and had built a life full of adventure, travel, and family. Nothing seemed out of place until a few old articles surfaced, dating back several decades. The headlines were cryptic, but they pointed to a dark chapter in Mark's youth, one that had been carefully buried over time. The first revelation was that Mark had been involved in a high-profile scandal in his early 20s, long before he had met Joan. In 1978, Mark had been arrested in connection with an elaborate art theft ring that operated out of New York City. The ring had been responsible for stealing priceless paintings and sculptures from private collections and museums, selling them on the black market. At the time, Mark was a rising star in the world of art curation, working for a prestigious gallery. But according to the reports, he had been implicated as an inside man, allegedly providing crucial information to the thieves about security protocols and shipment schedules. Though Mark was arrested, the charges were dropped after months of legal battles due to lack of concrete evidence. The case faded into obscurity, and Mark seemingly emerged unscathed, moving on to build a successful career in business. But those who remembered the scandal never forgot, and the reemergence of these details painted a vastly different picture of Joan's late husband than the one she had shared on The Golden Bachelorette. As the story gained traction, producers of the show were left scrambling. The Golden Bachelorette was built on the foundation of heartwarming stories, second chances, and celebrating life after loss. Joan's narrative had been one of love and resilience, but now her late husband's name was being dragged into the spotlight in a way no one had anticipated. Would this revelation change the way audiences saw Joan? Would it tarnish her journey to find love again? Joan, ever the epitome of grace, was initially silent as the rumors swirled. But behind the scenes, sources close to her revealed that she was devastated. She had never known this part of her husband's past. Mark had been a man of integrity, or so she had believed, and the idea that he could have been involved in something so nefarious was deeply unsettling. As she processed the news, Joan was faced with a painful decision. Should she address the rumors head-on, or remain silent and let the story fade? Ultimately, Joan chose to speak her truth. In an emotional interview filmed for a special episode of The Golden Bachelorette, Joan sat down with the show's host to discuss the revelations. Her voice, though steady, was tinged with sadness as she explained that she had only recently learned about Mark's involvement in the art theft scandal. "The man I knew, the man I loved for all those years, was not the man in those articles," she said, her eyes filling with tears. "If he had a past that he chose to keep from me, I can't explain why. But what I do know is that he was a wonderful husband, a loving father, and a good man in the life we built together." Joan's vulnerability endeared her to audiences even more. Fans rallied around her, expressing their support for her and admiring her strength in the face of such shocking news. Many pointed out that people change, and that whatever Mark may have done in his youth, it didn't erase the love and life they had shared. Others were more critical, suggesting that Joan should have known about her husband's past, or that she was intentionally keeping parts of his life hidden. The media frenzy continued, with tabloids running wild stories about Mark's alleged connections to underground art dealers and unsolved thefts from the 1980s. But as the dust settled, it became clear that the truth was murkier than the headlines suggested. While Mark had been connected to the scandal, he was never convicted, and many of the accusations against him were circumstantial at best. In the end, Joan's journey on The Golden Bachelorette remained a testament to her resilience and her ability to move forward, even when faced with unexpected revelations. She had opened her heart to love again, and while the shadow of her late husband's past might linger, it did not define her. Joan Vassos continued to captivate audiences with her grace, her strength, and her unwavering belief in the power of love, no matter how complicated life's chapters may be. As the final rose ceremony approached, the question on everyone's mind wasn't about Joan's past, but about her future. Would she find love again, despite the turmoil of recent weeks? Would her late husband's secrets cast a shadow on her new relationship? Only time would tell. But one thing was certain: Joan Vassos had proven that she was a woman of courage, and whatever came next, she would face it with the same dignity and grace that had made her the heart of the Golden Bachelorette.